To have an Elite Series champion on right after they win, well, that's a special show. But to have two of them on right after they won, well, that's a very, very special show, and that it is. Our 250th show. Hank Cherry and Fisher Anaya join me this week on...
I'm Bob Cobb from the Bassmaster. Welcome to Mercer.
Welcome one, welcome all, friends, family, freeloaders, fishing freaks, and of course, you, my humpers. Happy hump day to all of you, and welcome into the Awkwardly Honest Fishing Podcast that goes by my last name, which is Mercer. This is the 250th edition of the Mercer Podcast. That's right, I did not stutter. 250th edition of the Mercer Podcast. And I hope wherever you're watching or listening from, that life is treating you well. I don't know how we got to 250. Time has flown. It has been an amazing ride, and I cannot thank you guys enough. You guys are truly what made this podcast. It's wild. Because if you were here in the original beginning of this podcast, it was kind of thrown together hastily, but to build it to what it is, to 250 podcasts, is incredible. And I thank you all. It has been so fun, so rewarding, and it's all because of you guys. And of course, great guests that are willing to be real and to have real conversations. I thank them all so much for that. So whether you've been on this show once, a bunch of times, I thank all the guests. I thank all the great supporters of this show, the companies that sponsor this show. But ultimately, I thank you guys. You guys created this show, and you guys have given me so much. The relationship that we have built together, this community, a good, pure, positive community. I thank you all for making it what it is. I thank you all, every one of you that has taken the time when I'm on the road to walk up to me and be like, hey, I'm a humper. I mean, we're humpers. I mean, how weird is that? But I am so freaking thankful for each and every one of you humpers. Thank you. Thank you all. Let's have a little fun in the comments, actually. Whether you're a long-time viewer or a first-time viewer, I thank you all. But let's have a little fun in the comments. Let me know when you started watching this show. Are you a day one viewer, or did you jump in somewhere along the way? Or did you just jump in this episode? Let us know in the comments. I mean, we're at episode 250. What number episode did you start watching? It'll help stroke the algorithm, keep the grow going. So let's get into the show. Hot off two incredible events in Alabama. And when it came to our 250th guest, a bunch of you guys made suggestions. And guess what? All of those people, for the most part, I mean, as far as I can control it, all of those people will be on the show. But we just had two incredible events. And just timing wise, it made sense to me. Like if I can somehow get both champions on the show, that'd be a pretty cool episode for episode 250. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Because if you see what we've seen the last few weeks, it's been an incredible few weeks. We watched Hank Cherry use a technique that really nobody's talked about in a very, very long time. I was conflicted when he was using it because I like to swim a grub. And I was like, yeah, just stop. Hank, just stop talking so much. But obviously he won that event and blew many people's minds. That was the very first non-forward facing sonar event. So there's a lot to talk about with that regard. Then we go to the next event, which you're allowed forward facing sonar. And as much as I was blown away by watching Hank catch him on a grub, I was equally as blown away to watch a 20-year-old kid in his second Elite Series event do some of the things that he does with forward-facing sonar. And I get it. It's a polarizing topic. Nobody's ever going to agree. There's people that hate it. There's people that love it. I think there's some people that are in between. And I guess I'm that person, because I can look at what Hank did and say, wow, that was amazing. And I can also look at what Fisher Anaya did. And I watched a human being have a smaller fish bite his bait, shake that bait out of its mouth so that the bigger fish could eat. And he wasn't bed fishing. He did that on a graph. It blew my mind. So I think you're really going to enjoy this episode. It goes in a lot of different directions. It is a long one, but it is a double dose of goodness. I mean, I could throw in a cheesy joke in there and be like, this is a dual threat of goodness. Too soon? That was awkward situation. But let's just jump right into the show. And before we do, one more time, I want to say thank you to all of you. You guys have made this show what it is. You guys have made this community what it is. For a show that was quickly thrown together in the weirdest situation probably I've ever had publicly in my life, it has turned into something so rewarding, so good, and I'm so thankful for all of you. So let's just jump right into it, and we'll kick things off with 8-time Classic qualifier, 5-time Bassmaster winner, 2-time Classic champion from Maiden, North Carolina, Hank Cherry. Hank Cherry, win number 5. That's a pretty freaking cool way to celebrate your birthday, huh?
Dude, it was a phenomenal way to celebrate my birthday. Just the fact that technique came all the way around full circle, and I got to use it on a major event, and the circumstances and the situation, the weather just fit just right, was just incredible.
What is your history with that technique? Like, when do you first remember that being part of your life?
In the early days of fishing, it was like it wasn't talked about. It was like this ghost that you heard about, but I was like, what are you talking about? And when you didn't know, you just didn't know. And then eventually, as I found out as I got a little younger, I guess my first taste was like around 10, 11. I still didn't know the power of it until like in my 20s. And it's a technique that has worked in my area for, 50 years. They've been doing this.
Yeah.
And it's just something that's so subtle, really easy to do once you learn how to, throw it and shake it and all that stuff, that it's just like, it kind of dumbs down the sport. It goes all the way back to like the survival basic instincts of fishing.
Yeah.
I know you guys back in the day, or still may, threw a lot of curly tail grubs for smallmouth.
Yeah.
On the ball head, hop them off the bottom and things like that. But whoever came up with the color, and this is the color, and this is why they like it, I'm not sure. All I know is that little dude is responsible for so many 20 to 30 pound bags in this area of the country. It's just amazing.
It's funny. I was conflicted while commenting on it, because I still swim a grub a lot, and hardly anybody, like, it's the kind of bait you put on the deck of your boat and people are like, oh, were you crappie fishing? Yeah. That's why it's there. Like, nobody, it's, what it reminds me of? It reminds me of fluff. It reminds me of the marabou jig, because that was a secret for years, and people would see it on your boat and say the same thing. Like, they just never realized the power of it. So I was conflicted during commentary, because I'm like, I'm excited to see this, but I'm also like, probably don't need to show this to the world.
Well, I did get a few death threats from some guys around here. Not kidding, but still, it's something that you have to, and you can testify this, it's something that you have to understand what it's doing coming through the water and what you're looking for. Most of our baits these days are either set up to penetrate and get down in the cover and to draw a bite, or to get a big reaction. And that thing is kind of like, don't pay attention to me. I'm kind of struggling, not making any noise, not bothering anybody. I'm not going to run away from you if you chase me, though. Very easy snack. It's just in the cold water for largemouth, 50 and below, I don't think, if the bait's present, I don't think there's a better bait.
How much did the shad kill play into that being the right bait?
Well, the shad kill is really what sent me that direction, because I had every mind, to throw the jerkbait on calls, crank the causeways and look at that. But the shad kill around the causeways was so significant. There were so many birds. And I know from history, like, you can't compete with those fish that are there. Because, they just open their mouth and the shad's falling at them. Like, they don't have to hunt. They don't have to search. And in that All Reds area, there was an abundance of shad that would go from the channel to the grass line. And as they got to the grass line, they would get higher in the water column. But you could tell they were struggling, because when the birds dove on them, they didn't have to be aggressive and keep going down. They just pick one up and go. And then throughout the days, every day, especially really good on the last day, you see bulls in the water up there. And I was telling my camera guys, they're feeding on them. I'm not in a hurry because they're not going anywhere. You don't see that many bulls consecutively, and the bait are fast. They wouldn't even be fast across your screen. Show you how slow they were moving. On downscan, I could go across one of those points and see the shad. And sometimes 20 minutes later, when I went back across it, the ball would still be hovered there. And every once in a while, we could look down and you could see that flutter where they're struggling, trying to get to that warmth. And they just kind of stayed around there. And it was an open buffet. Like I said, that grub with the way the tail paddles, it looks just like a struggling shad in the cold water.
So when did you when was the first point that week that you thought, I might win this tournament? I never have any thoughts right ahead of winning, because the guys are so good. I did find it kind of cute that I was in the area and our minnow shaking guys were around. That was a good feeling. But I literally, the third day of practice, I pulled over to that point. Gerald was 200 yards behind me. And I had 20 pounds in 20 minutes, just random casting. After I caught one on jerkbait, they fouled one up. And I had this tied on. I said, I was going to try it. And first cast. And I was like, okay. So I called him over. And he was like, what are you doing? I was like, look, dude, they're biting this. And he looked at me like, what? I said, they're biting this. Here's 2 heads. Here's some baits. He goes, okay. He said he never got it going, but I didn't realize that it was the entire day, anywhere that it jetted out, that there was a possibility of bites. And once I got a bite, I didn't realize there was 5, 10, 15, 20 fish there to bite on the same cast. But as it kept going, I went out the last day and I was like, I really messed up the first day. The ice got to my head. And I probably abandoned too fast, because now thinking back, as I would have waited 12, 1 o'clock, I would have been able to do the technique because my eyes. But I went out the last day. I was like, look, catch 28 pounds. And people were looking at me like 28 pounds. I was like, look, if I catch 28 pounds, they got to beat me. If I catch 30, I win. And up until I thought, just a competitor in me, but I knew that I had done all that I could do, the best that I could done. And one thing that kind of hit me that day when I ran back up the lake and I pulled on that bluff and I caught that last one close to 5 pounds on our new jerkbait, I was like, I don't know, this feels like my day. Like everything's going right. It feels like the day. But just to finally get up there and get it, man, I still can't explain it. I came home last night. Jacqueline already put it in the trophy case, and it's just, I don't know if it means so much because it's validation to my career. I don't know that I needed that. I think it was just validation to myself after going through 3 surgeries, 2 terrible years, that, hey, you can still do this. Let's talk about those surgeries. What have you been through?
So I had the elbow done 2 years ago, which made holding the rod horrible. So I had like a terribly infected case of tennis elbow, you would say, but a nice scar here on my elbow. You can't really see it, but it's about that long. And I basically, instead of tearing the tendon, I ripped it. So we weren't sure how the amount of the damage, but when I woke up from surgery, the doctor said that he was very glad that we decided to go ahead and do it. And it was painful just because I fished both handed my whole life, but generally it's in my left hand. And for so long, it hurt so bad to jerk or to throw a jerk bait or just to set the hook in general that it was just, Like you don't want to go fishing because every time you set the hook, it's the shocking pain. And then I had carpal tunnel in both hands with arthritis, so they had to go in. They did the left hand first, the right hand 3 weeks later. So it's still 3 weeks behind, and it still bothers me. I woke up this morning, it was swollen. But just the simple fact that the pain I went through those years, just trying to, anybody that's ever had it, just trying to hold on to something tight with the grip, and then your fingers stay there. And you're like, okay, let's change reels, let's get these fingers off. But I did that, but I kept fishing through it. Taking time off wasn't going to be an option. I would have felt horrible if I'd have done it with Gerald out there with 2 Terminator legs trying to learn how to walk again. He's struggled through it. So I definitely couldn't do it. I told him, I was like, is there any way we could call Lisa and maybe I can run your trolling motor and you can cast for me? Maybe we can work that way. But I think all of it put things back into perspective. It put me in this winter when I was out fishing. I spent most of the time with a spinning rod. I spent most of the time out learning live scope. Didn't perform anywhere near what I wanted to at Martin, but I still nearly caught every fish that I saw. And to me, that was like a victory.
Yeah.
I know it was going to be tough, but I couldn't determine. The only one that could really determine how big they were between the size was Fisher. But like he's on another level with that stuff. I mean, he's like, no, drop my bait so the one behind you can get it. Its tail looks a little flashier. I mean, I don't know how that works, but I just think that it really put things back into perspective. And winning come close to many times, but then there was just a fade. And I'm not sure if I let trends and technology affect what I do or if I was just in a bad mood. I wasn't happy all the time, but I've changed all that. My mindset's changed. I'm kind of like, look, we're 10, 15-year-olds again. We're just fishing because we like it. Don't know how much longer this is going to happen. And just enjoy. You're good enough. Time comes, seize the moment, and that's what I did at Gunnersville.
Today's high-tech fishing world can be a real pain in the neck, especially if you're running the wrong mounts. Beat Down Outdoors, they bring the graph to you, and they support this podcast and care enough about you to make this a short ad read. Check out Beat Down Outdoors. Now back to the show. That is imperative in this sport, like that your mind... Like, I'm sure there's grumpy people like that are not happy in a situation playing football and playing baseball and different things. But like, is it the length of competition that's like, you just don't, when people aren't in a right mindset in fishing, they almost never, ever win. Like if you think of all the people that have won, like it almost never, why is fishing different that way?
With fishing is different, I guess, like with baseball, had a bat at bat. Okay, it's the next at bat. They're the guys that are hitting the lineup too that can pick you up. Well, you're by yourself. And I told people all the time, winning's not loyal to anybody, whether it's the most honest, straight up Christian guy that's fishing in the world or it's some shady, sketchy guy that bends the rules. Like winning is not loyal. It's going with wherever the weight goes. It's just how it is. It's like, and when you're out there by yourself, it's not a team thing. If you put so much pressure on it, like fishing is my life, this is my life, I got to do this, this is my life, this is my job, I got to do that. You're just going to build so much pressure that you're not going to think freely. You're not going to enjoy what you get to see. You're not going to spend the time traveling with your road family. You're not going to enjoy that. Everything's going to be miserable. Everything is going to be just stacked up on you, and you just can't perform that way. You have to just lay it out, understand that at the end of the day, we're all just fishing. Your life is at home. Family is at home. They're rooting for you. Your sponsors are behind you. They're rooting for you. Everyone knows it's Mother Nature and you can't control them. Some guys perform better than others, but we all got there by some path. So we all deserve to be there. You just have to showcase what you got. But I think the guys that can let it go and not care. I'm not saying that in a bad way, but I'm just like, don't care about what happens. This jig's going up in that tree. I don't care if it gets hung up. Or I got to go try this technique. I don't care what happens. I've got to learn or I've got to catch fish. Once you get that caring part out of it and you just go do, I just think it's just makes it so much more enjoyable.
I did a show with Matt Robertson a few months ago and he talked about that. Like, and in his way, listen, I just don't care. Like, but he has cared too much. And he tried to explain that. And some people took it the wrong way, but it makes sense. Like you have to, you can't, like the harder you try to ram that square peg in a round hole, it's not going to go in. Like you need to just be who you are.
You've got to just roll with what got you there. I mean, you have to. You're going to make times and you have to adjust this, that, and the other. But in the information age, it seems like you're always being judged. Like that's got to go. You got to have, I've said it before, anybody else's opinion of you is none of your business. Don't worry about it. And like with me, I'm the same thing. I'm good. But you come after my kids or my wife with any kind of weird comment, then we got a problem. Then you're going to have 230-pound ape on your back because I'm coming for you. But we're open game, and you can't worry about it. The caring doesn't mean that you're not into and you're not trying, you're not giving 100%. The caring is that weight that's off your shoulder, your self-expectations of how good you're supposed to perform. And if you think in your mind that I have to be first all the time, this is the way it's got to be, like you can't do that. You're not going to perform well. There's not an athlete on the planet that will tell you that that's their mindset. It's always next pitch. With us, it's next cast, next fish, next tournament. Like when this one ends, like I'm thinking, okay, well, we got to get him back at Tom Bigby. I mean, it's just, that's the way you have to think. But if you think in the back, think of what could have been, or what should have been, or what I should have done, that's just going to build and build and build. And then you're going to have that negative mentality. So the next tough event you go to, it's still going to be there. It's still going to be weighing on you. So that's what I'm talking about. Don't care. I mean, it's not like, of course, when I go suck at it then, it bothers me. But I'm not caring about that while I'm fishing. I'm trying to do the best that I can with the knowledge that I have, with the equipment that I have. And sometimes it's fishing and just doesn't work out. You've taped fishing shows, take you 3, 4, 5, 7 days to make a show. Sometimes you might get it done the first day. Just part of it.
Yeah. You got to kind of leave it out there. Competing when you're injured, like you have for a number of years, is it the distraction? Like, I mean, when you're in pain, it's hard to focus on anything else. Is that what takes your eye off the ball? Is it the fact that you're distracted by pain?
I don't know if it's so much the pain or it's embarrassment, I guess, of not being able to perform at a level that you're used to performing at, that I think all older athletes go through. When you hold yourself to a high standard and you want to go perform at a high standard and something is stopping you or blocking you from that, it's aggravating. And I would be aggravated. Everybody's like, man, like, no, it's aggravated because I can't do some of the things that I used to do. Like I can't do them properly. And in this game, if you can't do something properly and it's a technique that you rely on, so you try to rely on other things, lots of times it just doesn't work out. And like mentally, I'm not going to lie, like I would get like a jig bite or something. When I set the hook, first thing that was to go through my mind is this is going to hurt. Yeah. And it may not be as hard as, and I've lost fish over the past couple of years where I know that 100% healthy, I rip them as 2 cranks and I flip them in the boat and outcomes are different. But that being said, it was my choice to compete. They were all my decisions. And what happened just happened. I mean, I think your rough years and your losses make you better and define your character more than just winning.
I find it amazing that somebody that's accomplished as much as you would ever be embarrassed or ashamed of a performance. But I guess none of the past matters in your head.
If you look at just across our sport at some of the greatest, putting me in their category because I've never looked at myself that way. But even Kevin, we look at Kevin. As much as he won, as much as he dominated, when he did bad, it bothered him because he just expected. He knew this is what I was supposed to do. Aaron, the king of second places, Brock's catching him. The king of second places, Aaron couldn't stand it. And that's something funny too. We talk about him because he's been brought up a lot lately. Like people talk about, fishing against people that were good with forward facing. I was like, y'all don't understand. I fished against the original forward-facing guy. I knew what was out there somehow. Before everything, Aaron knew what was there. It was the most amazing thing to watch, and I'm so blessed that I got to see it. But not to get off subject, it's just when you taste the victory, you hold the trophy. That's what brings you back. That's what you want. That's what you want. That's what you want. And I've kind of gone back to my mentality, because Jacqueline gave me that picture. I don't know if you saw it, of when I won Smith Lake by 1 ounce. And there's a picture of me holding the trophy on the stage. And she was like, that's the guy that was happy all the time. And I realized, I never started this for fame. I never started for money. I never started for trophy. This all happened because I loved fishing. And so I've kind of gone full circle back to that mentality, attitude. And I just feel healthier. My mind's healthier. I'm clean. I understand there's other reasons I'm fishing now. One, I get to voice my support and respect for the sponsors and first responders of the country. So there's a lot of other good that comes out of this, even when I don't do good. But if I let a bad performance, or not a performance that's up to my wanting, affect the way I handle everything that happens after that, then I've let my sponsors down. I've let those veterans down. I've let my family down. I've let myself down.
Every once in a while, something gets thrown around because you guys will say stuff like "we" on stage. And I think you just gave us a really unique glimpse into why it's we. It's, you're the one competing, but Jacqueline's kind of your coach. I mean, you have a bunch of coaches in your life, but to have that conversation if you, obviously you love her, she's your wife, but if another individual did the same thing for you, you'd be like, well, they're coaching me up. Is that why we hear so much "we" in this sport?
Yeah, you have to, because it's not a solo thing. Like, I have families. Jacqueline's at home. She's taking care of the bills. She's taking care of the kids. That's part of the "we." I have, Bass Mooch and Level. They're making rods. We're still making baits. They're supporting me when I'm on the road. If I need anything, it's coming. Whether it's anything, it's Bass Cat, Rick Pierce. We're a family. If we need anything, we're there. The service guys at the park. I mean, every aspect we have of it, even all the way people laugh when I talk about Alpha. It's on the side of the boat, big. Like, fully loaded products changed my life. It took me totally away from tobacco. I haven't had tobacco now in I don't know how many years. But like, all that is we. That's we, what we do. Even from electronics to whatever we use on our boats, it's all still part of a we. Because even though they're not there with me, even if something as simple as like 7 reels, are still sitting back watching me use their products and perform. And they want it to perform at the highest level. So there's the whole sport is we. And I think the problem that happens and gets lost in translation, please people don't take this the wrong way, is when you have people come along and it becomes an I situation. I think it's negative. And I think if you're an I guy coming along, this is to all the young anglers out there, you need to learn to be a we guy, because I is not promotable. They can't make anything out of an I. They just can't do it. They cannot promote you into the next level. And Bassmaster, the one thing that it does allow us to have as anglers is a platform to promote. Like, overall, 100%, that is a tremendous platform to promote your message, your sponsors, yourself, all in one. And I think that's a message that needs to be relayed to up and coming anglers, is like, people want to promote a team. If you come with people with you, it's easier to promote a team than it is an I. And then I gives you attitude. Attitude can go lots of different ways. We've seen it happen with people all across the industry in all sports, and usually it doesn't work out very good for you.
Let's call a spade a spade. Did this win mean more to you? I mean, you keep talking about the younger guys. I mean, there is definitely a perception in the world that, like, hey, Hank, you and your generation, you're done. There's a young group here now. Like, do you feel Like, what does it feel like to be in that? Like, it's easy to be the guy making the comments on the internet, but what does it feel like to be the bullseye?
It's okay because as young Trey and Fisher and those guys started, but when I started, I was that guy. Came out of the gate at the Classic. Oh, it's just a fluke. Can't catch them. Just happened to end up where Kevin's fish. No doubt about it, there is a divide in electronic capabilities of the older anglers and the younger anglers. Like there's a division. It's just the way they grew up. And I think if you flop it around and you go to older traditional techniques, there's a divide between the two. Do I personally think that makes one group evil and one group good? No. Do I know that there is someone coming along with my place and all this? I totally understand that. My goal is to compete at the highest level that I possibly can. And when I feel I cannot do that, I will step away and make room for the next KVD, the next Iconelli, the next Hank. And I think by winning at Guntersville, it proves I got a little something less in the tank. But I told you, facing tournament, those guys would have came down there and picked those fish off faster than I could have made 5 casts. No doubt about it, 100%. But it did amaze me that none of them even called a piece of that pie. Now, is that because they've relied on forward-facing their whole careers or they were looking for something different? I believe, and this is just me, I believe what happened was I think those guys, not that being a non-forward-facing tournament, I think it affected them mentally because they knew they could blast 35 pounds if they had it at that event.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly believe that because they do it all the time down there. So that's another part of the mental aspect that's coming around it. And I'm sure they're like, okay, well, it's non-forward facing. I'm going to prove that I can catch them that way. Like, I don't say this without ever getting like, I don't like the division of any of it. I don't like the divide of any of it. I just honestly believe that everyone has the same common goal. I just don't know that the new way of going about it is the same as the old way of going about it. And I don't know how that's ever going to mix. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. And I don't think it's unique to fishing. I mean, I've had a conversation with somebody I know in real estate, and they're like, well, there's all these young guys that, you know, rely on social media. They don't knock on doors like we used to back in the day. They're out selling us, but they're not selling us the way we did it, you know. And I think every industry has dealt with a certain digital disturbance. But I think the one point you pointed on that I think stood out, and I think that we have just a very small case study. If you look at Guntersville and Martin, and I think we got to let it all play out. But I do think, I think the feeling of you saying that they knew that they could get 35 pounds and not being able to do it, you know what I mean? It's like telling Steph Curry, you got to play basketball, but you can't shoot your 3. That's going to mess with him no matter. And I'm sure he has a very full game outside of that, but regardless, that's going to mess with him because he's always going to be thinking, right now, I can hit it. I can hit it from here. I can hit it from here. But I think the opposite happened for you guys, where all of a sudden you guys stopped thinking about them getting 35 pounds. Am I reading that right? Like, I feel like in a lot of ways, you guys have always been like, I'm on something good, but he can't compete with that if that's happening.
The analogy with it is, I mean, make no about it, Garmin's technology is just absolutely next level, incredible of what you can see in the applications of what you can do. And there's a few that have just taken it to a level that they're thinking, the way they're sitting, which bait is going to work, which bait is not going to work. I mean, they have it down to that, but it's no different than we go somewhere and it's a non-forward facing event and you put that 1.5 ounce jig in Hackney's rod and go to flipping bushes. Like, nope, going to comprehend. They're going to understand what he's doing, but they don't comprehend what's going on through that guy's brain. And I think that the Gunnersville one specifically, because of the nostalgia built around it of the giant fish and the 30-pound bags and what could have been, it 100% played into the hands of the more traditional guys, just because for the fact that adjustments had to be made. Things had to happen. Situationally, you had to move around it a little differently. And not only that, I think years of experience came full circle and paid off in that tournament for several people.
Yeah, and then you go to Martin and you're also seeing. So do you like, I mean, we're only 2 events into it, but do you like the 50-50 schedule? Do you like the split?
I think it makes it interesting. Personally, in a perfect world, the competitor I am, I would love to see like a schedule of quote unquote traditional bass fishing and quote unquote a schedule of badass scoping lakes, 30 pounds. Let's line it up, the best guys in the world, and see who can go do what. Because in actuality, it is 100% 2 different skill sets across the board. If people can argue, say what you want, but it is 100% 2 different skill sets. And it's just a generational, I tell people all the time, it's what it is, it's a generational divide. I mean, what is best? I don't know. That's not for me to understand. I'm just, whatever rules we play under this week, I'm just going fishing. I'm going to do my thing, the best of my ability, and, be done with it. I mean, like, they're catching them on a jellyfish, a pom-pom. I mean, like, that's next, like, alien. That's like alien technology. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know what it is. But I don't, as long as the drama is minimal, I don't care.
Yeah.
I really don't. I think everybody spent so much time being caught up and angry and upset about this, that, or the other. This guy's doing something off, or this guy disrespected, whatever. I just want to show up, fish the tournament under whatever the rules are that week, go to the next one.
I think the most important words you said was respect. That's where I've been the whole time along. Like I think it's disrespectful for young anglers to look at older anglers and be like, yeah, what they do, it's not needed anymore. Yeah, it's a key part of fishing, and it's also disrespectful of older anglers to look and be like, there's no skill to that. When you see Fisher pull a fish out of a bait out of a fish's mouth for the bigger fish on a graph, you have to respect that. But I think in situations, some people have simplified it and said, you put that box on, it makes everything easy. And then some people will look at the negative that they'll be like, well, come on, you got to get with the times. You got to move on, older guys. Like, ultimately, fishing's always been about how you choose to do it. And I've always respected all anglers. Like, that's the part that bothers me, the disrespect of anyone, you know what I mean, on any side, because I mean, we're all just fishing and you should do it the way you want to do it.
Yeah. And like I said, I think with the coin toss, however they did that this off season, by going 50-50, it allowed, all right, you guys, you get these 4, you get these, let's go do it. Everybody's got to adapt. Everybody's got to adjust. But I mean, there's really nothing you can say on the topic. Either way, you can walk the middle line, stay there, and you'd be like Mr. Miyagi. Step left, squish like grape. Step right, squish like grape. I mean, that's just the way it is. You're never gonna make anyone happy.
Yeah.
No matter how it's played out or the decision is made, powers that be, however they decide to the rules of that particular tournament. I just think that I do believe this: when guys come along that seem to be too good to be true, automatically everyone thinks they're cheating. I don't like that. Now I do understand too that can be conversations and there can be instances where things happen, where things are said that are disrespectful to competitors and anglers that pave the way for you to be here. And that rubs people the wrong way, but that goes back to the respect thing. But at the end of the day, the younger guys are just trying to get to where I'm at, where my guys are at. That's where they're trying to go. So they're doing everything they can to get there. And I've never been one, and when I talk at seminars, you cannot fault a guy for what his particular sponsor or family was able to provide for him to go fishing. I've never caught a bass going 75 miles an hour. Your boat size doesn't matter. None of that matters. What matters is you go fishing, you learn, you get better. And if you concentrate on that stuff and you're an aspiring angler and that's what you want to do, like you get calls all the time. How do I get sponsors? You can win or you fish your way there. And now today, that's what makes them so good is they have 10,000 ways to get there.
Yeah.
And tons of support across the country, all different trails pointing toward that one direction. But at the same time, I kind of feel like there's times where growing that youth movement in the lower ranks sometimes overshadows us.
Yeah.
And I think that's a bad thing because no matter what, they're still trying to get to where we are.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a real weird. I mean, I've spent way too much of my life thinking about it. And you just look at, you look at Christian playing baseball. Like, I'm sure every team and every tryout, every camp you go to, there's people that say, well, they're only there because of this. Like, I also think we underestimate how much making it an actual collegiate sport has changed it. Mm-hmm. Because before, everybody's parents said, you're nuts. You're not going to fish for a living. But now they don't. Now, because guess what? There's real scholarships and there's real opportunities that come from it. They're supportive of it. And guess what? Parents want what's best for their kids. And I just think that's kind of part of the sport evolving. And we're seeing some of the positive and negative of that. I mean, I'm sure other sports have been through it. But as long as we respect each other, I think we're all good. I
think so. I don't think this. I think the sport is still bright. Like yeah. I do honestly believe that for the sport to grow substantially and significantly, especially monetarily, that the influx of non-endemic sponsors has to come back. I just think that's the key component to making the cogs and making the wheels turn. Non-endemic sponsors. And yeah. I think with them, you bring in a totally different audience. And with that, you have a totally different monetarily dollar flow stream. It's just the facts are there. You can look at it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think anyone would argue that. I mean, but I would say that's why the respect part is so important, not just for the happiness of the competitors and the people. Dude, if you're the guy from Gillette and you're like, hey, I got a budget I'm going to spend, and you Google fishing right now, you come up with weights and walleye, the disagreement the disagreement over this technology, a tournament circuit that just ended up fleecing a bunch of guys. Like, there's so many different, so you're the guy from Gillette and you're like, you know what? Pickleball. That's where it's at. We're going to invest in it.
It is. And I've always said it. I was like, the anglers can be their own worst enemy.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the grub. Why that bait over anything else?
Man, that bait has just been so good to me over the years. And in that situation, that cold of water, there's nothing else that you can throw that's going to be that stealthy. Now you can shake a minnow at them. I didn't try that, but I mean, I'm sure they would have bit that. But that bait comes through the water column. I'm making it act like an injured shad. It's not threatening anyway. It's an easy meal. It's a one-shot deal. I think with the chartreuse, everybody's like, a chartreuse, I'll show you in a second. It's not. It's more translucent. But it still stands out, and it kind of reminds me why they bite them. Like, if you look at those guys that are really big with Alabama rig, they'll have like 4 white baits and like a red one in the middle. Like, it stands out in all those shad, and it's a little bit different, and the flakes give it. The sin I apply to it, I think it leaves a little bit of an oil slick in the water. Same thing that's prevalent when I'm catching flounder or redfish down at the beach with it. And it just flat out catches big ones. I can't explain to you why. The guys thought I was kidding. They're like, "What do you catch them on?" I'm like, "Catch them on a crappie, bro." I'm like, okay, whatever you say. It's just a good cold water technique that I'm pretty sure works anywhere across the country. I know it works in the Carolinas all the way to Lake Guntersville. So, but like I said, it's something that's simple to tie on, but it's not just a cast and reel. The way we fish, the way we do it, it's not just throw it out there and just reel it back. And to the average guy, that's what they would do. They're going to pick up a grub, throw it, and just reel it back. And then it's kind of like I said, because people have made comments and people have said, this is the one he's throwing, that's the one he's throwing. Even companies say this and that's the one he's throwing. And then some of them are like, they want to be smart asses, like a grub is a grub is a grub. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to explain this to you the best I can. What's the Strike King trap? What's it called? The red eye shad.
Red eye shad, yeah.
A red eye shad is just a red eye shad until Kevin gets his hands on it. And then it's a whole different animal. And that's just the way it is. And with this bait, you could give it to a lot of people. They'll get some bites on it. But once I show them, like, this is how we do it, this is why we do it, this is what we're imitating, it will change your opinion and change your idea of the whole thing. So, like, here it is. Still on there. I'm getting ready to cut it off and put it on the trophy. Everybody said, why bait catcher? Well, this is a 7 GS 8-1. I throw the bait catcher 1 because I can pick the line up. 2, I'd rather fight those big fish on this rod than I would a spinning rod. That's just me personally. It's the way I grew up fishing. It's a jerk bait rod. But you take this bait, and the way the tail is,
so it's thick. Softer. The rod's soft. It's a casting rod, but it's softer.
Yes, it's a medium light, extra fast tip. So it'd be just like a jerk bait rod.
Yeah.
The consistency in the tail on this particular grub is a little thicker. So it's not like a streamer coming across the water. It's more of a rudder, like a paddle. So it kind of does this motion. And when you throw this bait out, you cast it, and if you throw it in like 20, you let it sink to like 5. Here's where the useless knowledge comes in. I've already graphed this stuff, so I know at this particular point, the top of the grass is in 4 foot of water. So when it hits, I need to start the retrieve because basically I'm coming down, making it do this, coming down the grass line all the way to open water. And I pull the bait a little bit, shaking it as fast as I can. And then I need the 8-1 to reel the slack up quick because I'm only pulling it so far at a time. So it's basically this. And it's just imitating a dying shad. But the reason for the 8-1 is a lot of those bites, after I shake and it falls, and I go to reel, you just see a line just doop, and then I got to be able to and just pull into them. Most people were just saying, because I got comments, I went and bought 4 different kinds of grubs since y'all left Guntersville and had a bite on it. Like, if you throw it and reel it, you may get a bite on it, but you're not doing it technique specific to what those shad were doing. And we left there, and I'm sure the water temperature got up into the 50s, and you pretty much hang this up because they're going up into the grass. So That's what's significant to this bait. Now, the jig head, you can use any kind you really want. A darter head style is probably the best because it allows the front of the head to wobble a little bit, and I think that's important. The ball head still will work, especially when you're wanting to. You might be ticking the top of the grass. You seem to get less grass on the ball head coming through the grass than you do the darter head. It seems like it would be different. Years of experience, it's not. A 2-aught hook, you don't want a very big hook, kind of like shaking a minnow. You don't want a big hook, but it needs to be sharp because you don't want to, you're not railing into them, but you need to reel into it fast and have that penetration. 9 times out of 10, most of them are hooked in the roof of the mouth. I had a couple straighten out hooks and break hooks off, but they were such big fish and their mouths were so hard because my hands were tore up from just grabbing them that I'm sure I caught one in the side, the bottom lip or something. And, you know, on a long cast, especially one specifically when I remember doing it, like he hit and I just made that movement right there. I'm like, oh crap. And he just waller, reeled up there and the hook's at an L shape instead of the J. But I mean, it's a great technique to catch big fish when the water's cold. It's a little bait. And the cool thing about it is once you've done it, you can take anybody to do it. You just got to slow them down to do it. Now, there are tricks you can do that I historically do that people probably don't. One with your scent, that's a big one. There's lots of kind of scent, but I'll give some top knowledge right here. If you're going to be a grub guy, especially in the cold, anywhere in the country, you can find Sparkle Scales fish formula.
Old school.
It works very well with steak. You're throwing in the dying shad, the scales are coming off when it hits the water. You're leaving a slick. I promise you, it works. I'll put glass rattle in there. I had one in at the tournament. Didn't talk a whole lot about it. Didn't really want to say it, but since everybody's like, that's my business, not. The glass rattle I'll have in one. That's why I had 2 on the deck, 2 different head sizes, one with the glass rattle. And I only use the rattle. I had it in that situation just to see if it would make a difference in size or location. And then on the third day, it really made a difference in the size. Like, I don't know why, but in my mind, it was working. It had it in there. And if the water's a little off color and it's real cold, I'll shove the rattle in it. So there are a lot of applications for it. And like I said, I'm sure you've caught smallmouth swimming it, bouncing them off the bottom. That's just not what we use this particular one for. Another really good situation where this grub is extremely effective is anytime bass have hoarded shad up into the back of a pocket, and everybody's seen this, and they look like popcorn on top of the water. You catch one on a spinnerbait or a trap or a jerkbait, then they don't bite. You can pick this guy up and catch just about every one of them in the pocket, just keeping it below those shad that are in there, and it just boom, boom, boom. And that's more useless knowledge from fishing Lake Norman and Lake Wiley and Hickory. And, you know, it's just something, it was so hard to get a bite here growing up that, you know, I think that's one reason why I've been able to excel and go across the country and catch fish, because when I was growing up, if you could catch them on Lake Norman, you could catch them anywhere.
How do you rig it? You rig it tail up or tail down?
I rig tail down all the time. I want that to be a rudder. That's basically the movement it's doing. See that movement? When I hit it,
hold it a little higher, like hold it center of the screen there. There you go.
See, when you hit that tail, that's all it's doing. You don't want it streamlined, pulling it out to here like a traditional grub, which it doesn't have that second turn, so it won't do that. And that's what I'm imitating in the water, just making the tail. There was nothing but the beginning of the swim bait.
Yeah, you're right. You glue it at all? Do you use super glue to keep it on the jig head, or?
I will glue them. It just depends on how big a hurry I am and what's going on, how they're doing it. It was hard. It was very hard to even get it on at Gunnersville because it was so cold. And I had them so juiced up that I couldn't hold on to them. They kept sliding out of my hands. So I'd have to wipe my hands off and grab a towel and kind of just get it through there because that plastic gets pretty hard. And that's another problem. If you get one that's too soft, the plastic, catching big fish, their teeth will rip it and your grub's coming off. It doesn't matter if you glue it or not. So there's a fine line there with what's going on. But like, I never ever thought that I would be able to fish a professional event and throw that bait. And which is ironic because I said it before, when I won the Open at Smith Lake back in 2013 or 12, whatever it was, a long time ago. We have a hot hole at the lower end of Lake Norman, and we used to go down there and figure out how to catch these schooling fish that would bite nothing. We got it down to like a hook, a nail weight, a piece of plastic, or a slider grub or whatever. So flash that forward, more useless knowledge. I go to the state of Alabama and I get my first win on a spinning rod, like 8-pound braid, 8-pound leader, and a slider grub with a hook with a weight in it, throwing it across the top of trees and stuff for schooling fish.
Avco not only makes incredible outdoor clothing, but they care about anglers with their 10% pledge. Avco and the Shed family donate at least 10% of the company's profits to conservation and making fishing better. Now back to the show. I think you just explained the Elite Series. When people try to ask me about the Elite Series, they say, you know, what's different about guys who fish the Elite Series? And I'm like, they eliminate like you hear in other sports, you hear people say, you know, when I played college ball, I went to play football in the NFL, and it's just everything's faster. You can't make a mistake. That to me, as a guy who sits and watches you guys for thousands of hours at this point, tens of thousands of hours, that's the difference. Like every little nuance, like there's nothing that's not thought of. When it comes to time, every moment is taken advantage of.
The biggest difference I can tell you, I fished against tons of like weekend guys that are great fishermen, more than capable. Some of them have the issue once they get away from their region, catching them. But the one thing I can tell you about the guys on the elites and myself, especially, like once we get dialed in and there's blood in the water, it goes to a whole nother level. It's like it's something in you that just changes you. It just, you know, you can win and you go at it. Like Brock, hell of a performance at Martin. And he smelled it and he went after it. He never left his gun. He locked in what he does. This is what I'm going down with, and boom. And to be able to make that situation work, it's different mind thinking. Like when I won the Classic at Gunnersville, I still remember going back watching the podcast and David making some comments because it was late in the day and I still wasn't catching them. It was like, you probably needs to move or whatever. Like there was nothing getting me away that day. Like that's where it was going down. That's where it was going to happen. I just had to wait them out. And I think mentality is different. And I think if you sat down and really had a psychologist come in, you pick 10 elite guys out and you really start picking their brains apart, there would be something different about all of them, but they all have that killer mentality when the time comes. Very few start with it. I think it's a developed thing that just comes around through experience, adversity, overcoming that, seeing that getting knocked down is not going to kill you. It's not the end of the world. And once you develop it, you can't control it.
So there's a lot of fake grubs out there. I've seen so many posts of this is the exact grub. And I mean, it's not even the right color. Like it's a chartreuse pepper. It's a chartreuse, there's like, I've seen chartreuse party flake, and this is the grub that Hank was throwing. Is that frustrating?
Dude, it's just like, if you want to say, hey, we've got grubs, go ahead. I don't care. Yeah. Like, don't do a post. This is the post. This is the grub. Here's Hank holding the trophy. Here's Hank with a fish. Oh, here's Hank with a picture with the trophy, his wife and his kid. Like, no, that's not right. I mean, is it just a grub? A grub, like I said before, a grub is a grub till it's in the hand of the right person. Period. Like I said, a red-eye shad was just a red-eye shad until Kevin picked it up and it became magic. A robo worm was just a robo worm until Aaron Martins got a hold of it. Hack attack jig was just a hack attack jig until Hackney showed you what to do with it. But no, it's not. Like I said, this was a Carolina thing. And we are in the process of getting it made for everybody to have. I'm not taking credit for it. I'm not saying this is something I created, I invented. I just want to make it for people to get it. And look, there are going to be people when it comes out, they're going to buy it. This thing sucks. I can't catch them. I'm here to tell you on this show right now, the situations where I've talked about it works is when it works. It's up to you to figure out how to use it. That's anything, though. That's a jerk bait, spinner bait, whatever.
And you have to be committed to, I mean, prime example, you gave the actual bait to one of the best anglers in the world, a 2-time angler of the year. And this is not any shade on him at all. I mean, I have ultimate respect for him, but you gave it to him on the actual body of water that it was working. But he also doesn't have 20 years of fishing it. You know what I mean? 30 years, however long you've been, like, he doesn't have, you have to have that confidence in it. Like there's no magic bullet in ever, you know.
No, Matt Airy said that he told Canterbury at the second day of practice, and I wish I had that green grub because I bet they'd hit it. That's how we'd catch them at home. Shane LaHue talked about how he told Cobb about how he had it. I even told Shane, I was like, I found one place where I'm catching them on the grub. He's like, I should have brought those things. I told him, I was like, if you'd asked me, I'd have given you a couple. It didn't. It's just like, I'm a firm believer in what's going to happen is going to happen, but you got to do your work to make it happen. And I think it just came full circle. That was my time. It was an incredible tournament. It once again, in my style, it was kind of one of those not so good and then rise to the top. And it's special to me. And you talked about it earlier, the tournament and what it does. And like, I look at it, I was looking at it last night, and like, even though I've won 2 classics, like, it's right up there. And people say, well, how does it even compare? Like, my greatest achievement, I still tell everyone, was when I beat Kevin in the All-Star event.
All-Star.
I mean,
dude, you did.
It's like, if you look back, I was catching these kind of fish the same way, but just on a swim bait. Nobody was there. And that blue trophy, to me, is right up there with the classics because it wasn't a select field of 56. It was me at 52 on my birthday against the entire field. And I wanted that blue trophy so bad. I pretended like it didn't matter. It didn't matter, but it always kind of mattered, I guess, selfishly to me. But like I said, winning that day wasn't just important to me. Like I told you, it was important to what I stand for. It was important for another opportunity to shout out for the veterans on stage. It was another opportunity to thank my fans and my family and my sponsors. I've had a very blessed career. I mean, I've said a million times, I've been able to associate, and my heroes became my friends. I got to compete against the best in the world. My family's had the opportunity to go and meet people and do things that they never would have any other way. And I'm just enjoying the ride while I can. You know, I'm happy to be back healthy. Because I don't know how much longer this ride's going to go. I just know that I'm going to enjoy every minute of it while I'm still here.
I got one question about Guntersville because I've not asked anyone this, and it's still puzzling to me. Why did we not see riprap and those causeways play a bigger role like every other time we've been there?
1, water temperature was bad. 2, for some reason now around a lot of the rocks, when it's cold at Guntersville, you got a lot of black scum, so it's hard to crank them. I think that's from dead vegetation. And 3, every major causeway and bridge had a tremendous shad die-off going on with thousands of birds, and you just can't compete with that.
Yeah.
You know, I was surprised. Still in my head, we never saw anybody like really utilize the football jig and catch a monster load. In the back of my mind, I thought that was coming, but I think the fish were further along than they usually are, and then the cold weather happened, and I think it stepped them back. And in my case, I think it pulled them right to me. I think they were scattered and a lot of them in there, and I think as it got colder in the event, I think it just perfect storm pulled them right back out there to me. And anything coming in as it started warming up, the final day had to swim right by me to come in there. So I don't know, but that's definitely the reason why I believe the causeways and the rocks didn't pay off, because there are traditionally a lot of good cranking spots as far as rock and riprap at Guntersville that pay big loads of fish. And I think Polnick even made the comment to me when we were talking about it, like, you just got all this black scum on your bill. It was very weird.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, it drives me crazy when I ask you guys questions and you answer with things like, if it's my time, it's my time. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. It does drive me crazy as a guy who's supposed to ask you questions. But sometimes it just kind of feels like it was meant to be. And I think this one was meant to be. And it was one of the most exciting tournaments we've had in years. I think it was a great debut for the non-forward facing sonar events. Like I honestly, I was against that. Like I thought what we should have done is had a power hour at the end of the day, so you included every day. But if we had a power hour, the story wouldn't be about your grub. You know what I mean? Those guys, we've seen at MLF what happens. Like it just takes the scoper bite and it makes the super scopers stand out. The guy, like there's scopers, then there's super scopers. The super scopers are the ones that kind of benefit from the shorter period. So to me, I actually think, and I think that it's going to be a yearly kind of thing, but I think for right now, to get real data and real numbers and really experience the tournaments, I was wrong. I think it's the right thing to do kind of every other. And I'm thankful we did it there because I think it's a totally different tournament, but I think we don't ever learn about the grub.
It's 100% a totally different tournament. And I can't tell you right or wrong, which in theory is the best way to go. I mean, in a way, if you halt technology, you quit learning. But people will tell you at what point do you sacrifice the integrity of the sport where the technology takes over? And when you think about it, you're just like, in golf, a golf club's not what a golf club was years ago, but they can't use a rangefinder to putt or to hit their shots. And you can have all kinds of analogies from aluminum bats to wooden bats with baseball. As you go, something's always taken away from you. I think with our sport, the technology is the determining factor of how wide open the door is for the young kids coming in, because it correlates to the games and things that they play on their phones or on the computer or the TV. People don't like change. Change is scary. Change is sometimes good, sometimes bad. You don't know. So how it goes, I don't even know that you can say, well, hey, these four had much better rating and approval and watch rate than these four. That could also determine on what venue it's on.
Yeah. Yeah.
It could determine if it's the warm weather and everybody's out enjoying themselves on the lake, or is it raining and they're inside watching it on TV? Like there's no factor. There's no good answer. There's no right or wrong. I just think that if it's with the 50-50 field, it is the biggest and probably best compromise they can have, where there's the opportunity for the entire world and the sport and the anglers to see the best do their things and also see the best deal with the adversity in the other ones.
And at the end of the year, your angler of the year, your classic qualifiers, they're going to be more tested. We're going to, just from the sample size that we have, we had some super scopers that didn't do great.
This is going to be the point.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a tighter. I think it'll be a tighter points race. I don't think it'll take as many points as it has in the past to get to the Classic. I think the Angler of the Year is going to be tight because it's going to continue to do this. They can say it's not, and it could be a fault or blame. But to me, if you want to relate to something, it's just no different than some drivers are better on the oval track, the race car drivers. Then you put them on the street track and they struggle. So now there's a combination of the two. And, like a super scoper, he could just say, okay, I'm going to do what I can in the regular ones, but when it comes to scope, I'm going to hammer them down. I'll make the Classic in 5 tournaments. Because the way they do it, and when they're on their roll and they're dominant, boom, that can happen. And then the other guy the same way. It doesn't matter. Like I said, it's all going to line up, and the narrative's all going to change depending on the body of water that certain event's at and what rules are playing.
Yeah. Yeah. That you used the analogy I've been using, the track analogy. And it's the same thing with fans. There's some fans that hate road courses. There's some fans that hate ovals and vice versa. You're going to have, but I think in today's world, if you look at the first two events, we had some amazing stuff happen in Guntersville, but we had some amazing stuff happen at Martin. And as long as everybody learns to respect each other, I think things will be pretty good. And you made a point earlier. No matter where you sit on it, you're never going to, we could spend 7 days talking on this podcast. And guess what? If somebody hates it, they're never going to leave and be like, oh, I feel so much better. And if somebody loves it, they're never going to leave and be like, they made good points. They're just going to stay in. After Guntersville, I saw as many videos made on the internet about, this proved that the guys who scope can't catch him in this situation. But I saw equally as many videos that said, Trey was in the top 10 and Dakota Bear was in the top 10 and proving that they could just get let's just enjoy what we're seeing in front of us. And I will tell you, I really enjoyed Guntersville. And
there doesn't need to be the comparison. It's just of the anglers and their skill set and what they do. We want to be honest about Guntersville. If you polled a lot of those younger anglers, they probably never had to fish that way in those conditions ever. Let's just be honest about it. I'm not picking on them, not ragging them, but that's the truth.
Yeah.
There's a lot of even older guys that are like, I can't believe it's this cold and we're fishing. Me, on the other hand, I love fishing when it's cold. I'm telling you right now, if we start in December and in February, I went AOY every other year. I love the cold water, cold weather fishing. But that's the point of it too. They did not. But they gained that experience. So the next time that happens, guarantee you they perform differently.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's a good thing. That's good for the sport. That's the growth factor. That's the part that curve's just not like this. And people honestly believe that you put a Garmin on there and all of a sudden they do this. No, the truth be told to why those guys are so good at scoping is because call them in the off season. Those kids are not in a deer stand. They're not in a duck blind. They're not at home. Where you at? I'm on such and such lake fishing. I'm going to fish here for 3 days, and then I'm going there. And then I'm going there. And 48 days later, they may come home and check their mail, and they go somewhere else. That's their prerogative. That's what they could do right now. And that's just the youth movement in the sport.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, it is.
I talked to Easton Fothergill December 23rd. He was on the water. Yeah. It's and guess what? I'm sure Easton at some point will be 50 years old in this sport, and he'll look at the young guys and be like, dang, I remember when I had that's human nature. I hate them all, honestly. As a 52-year-old man, I hate every one of them because I look at them I don't want to change my life at all. I have the greatest wife. I have the greatest life. But dude, if I could all of a sudden just be 23 years old and us starting all over again, sign me up. It's natural, Yeah. It's just how life is. But I enjoyed watching you win, dude, and I appreciate it. Yeah, you were very good at it. I think we've covered a lot during this little conversation. We've gone all over the place. We've learned about the grub, and so the actual grub will be coming out when?
Yeah, Bass Mooch will have it out. I know the cavity, the molds are made. I'm going to see the sample, and I am very, very determined to have it the same exact. I want at least one of them this color, the texture, tail size, everything down to a T. And there's no bones with it. I've always, me, if I fish with it, this is what I got. This is what I'm using. It's going to be exactly the same. And like I said, I'll even go as far as to I'll do some instructional stuff, especially later on in the winter when it gets cold again, so people will understand. But it's kind of cool to me that little guy right there won me a tournament. We're going to get to produce it and again get to share it with the world because it means a lot to me. There was a time though, like that was a no. Like you didn't talk about it, you didn't say it. Even in the Bassmaster was like, I threw this, but this is what I caught him on.
Yeah,
like those days are going all the way they need to be, because I think just sharing in the information part is another thing I think makes the sport grow. And I think the more that the public begins to trust and understand that we're throwing the same thing that you can have, I think it just helps.
Well, appreciate your time. I know you got to get to a baseball game, so thank you very much, Hank Cherry.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Great stuff from Hank Cherry, and I thank him for joining the show. If it was a regular episode, that'd be plenty. We'd be done now. But this is far from a regular episode. This, of course, is the 250th episode. I'm really hoping Sarah can add some graphics in there so that doesn't look as weird and awkward as it did when I watched it back. But now we go in a whole different direction with a very young angler that has a lot of people scratching their heads. And I'll be honest, Swindle tried to warn you about him. If you go back and watch the Swindle show from a little over a month ago, he told you he was coming. Well, he has arrived. He is the reigning TNT Fireworks team champion. He is the reigning EQ Angler of the Year. He is a Bassmaster Classic qualifier. He is the most recent Bassmaster Elite Series champion, and it took him all of 2 events to taste victory on the Bassmaster Elite Series. The phenomena that is Fisher Anaya. Fisher Anaya, you struggled for like 2 weeks. The mental grind of 2 weeks on the Elite Series. And finally, you tasted victory.
It took forever, man. Like it felt like I've been fishing for like 14 days straight and finally made it happen.
Are you shocked? I mean, you knew the season was kicking off in Alabama. You knew that it was fisheries that you've had some experience on. But could you have ever imagined winning this soon?
No, like I like my odds fishing right here around the house, but at the same time, it's like the guys you're fishing against is kind of like unreal. So you got to have a perfect tournament to win.
What did you do last night?
I drove, got me some Taco Bell, and then finished the drive home and got home, went to bed.
Living large.
Yeah.
Where's the trophy?
Downstairs, I already put it up next to all my deer mounts.
Near all your prized possessions.
Yeah, I need to get me a little desk that it's sitting on might fall. The legs might give out here real soon, so I might have to get something a little bit sturdier.
I thought your legs were going to give out, dude. I mean, I have not seen, I'm not throwing shade, but I have not seen someone struggle with the trophy like that since Takumi Ito's first Elite Series win.
Hey, it weighs about as much as me.
Were you shocked?
Yeah, I've got told it's heavy, but I wasn't expecting it to be that heavy.
Yeah, I don't know why they make them that heavy. I guess to watch people struggle, but yeah. It was a pretty awesome event. If you look at the rate you were piling up accolades. Right now, your intro is already getting exhausting. I mean, you're the reigning TNT Fireworks team champion. You're a classic qualifier. You're the reigning EQ Angler of the Year. And now you're a freaking Elite Series champion. If you keep at this for another 2 years, it's going to take 23 minutes to introduce you.
If I keep up going this rate for 23 more years, I might as well get into something not fishing because I'm going to have a lot of money.
So let's learn about you. What you said on stage that it was grade 7. You were like, man, this is what I want to do. What has your life been since that moment?
Fishing, basically. Like after that, I was like, all right, so living like around G and then my dad, everybody like that, they're like, you got to fish 24/7 to be good or you're going to get left behind. So I just basically went online school, so I didn't have to go to school. I'd finish my schoolwork on Monday, and I'd fish the rest of the week, every single day, daylight to dark.
What do you love about fishing?
I don't know, honestly. It's just it's just something. I mean, tournament fishing is the best. Like, you catch a big one in a tournament, heck, I start shaking.
Yeah.
So it's just like adrenaline. I don't know. It's something gets you going.
Yeah, it's bass fishing on steroids. It's literally you catch a 5-pounder. When you're fun fishing, it's cool. But if you catch it in a tournament, it's a whole different level.
Yes.
Is it even more so in an Elite Series event?
Heck yeah. I caught my second bass of my Bassmaster Elite Series career was a 5.5 on G. And I'm like, man, I'm starting off strong. And then it went, woo. But it was fun. Like, it's when you hook one, you're like, all right, I got to land this thing. Because if I don't land this, I'm going to look like a retard walking across the stage with 4 bass for 9 pounds.
You did. You started your Elite Series career with a lot of pressure. You're at Guntersville. You've got a camera pointing at you. Like, when you look back at that event, before we focus on this one, but when you look back on that event, how did you leave that event feeling?
I feel good, honestly. I'm here, so I'm happy to be here. I've told myself at the start of that one, I was like, no matter how I finish or what happens for the rest of the year, I've made what I wanted to do for my whole life. So not going to get upset or mad about any finish I have, because these guys are, they're the best in the world. They're the best 110 guys there is. So, I was fine with it. I just was like, I need to go into Martin with a clear head and just go catch what I can catch.
Have you had a welcome to the Elite Series moment? Have you had like we're on the Elite Series now, or is it just fishing to you?
It's really just fishing. I'm just, everybody's a human being. Everybody's trying to catch the same fish. So it's just fishing to me.
Have you always been that way?
Yeah, most of the time I'm kind of just laid back. I'm just kind of here, there, and gone.
Do you ever think of the other anglers, or no, you're just trying to catch a bass?
Not really. I'm just going to try to catch what's in front of me, and that's all I can do. So if you start thinking about, well, I wonder if he's catching, I'm like, you're just going to spin yourself out.
When did you first think that I might win Martin?
The second day I found the stretch I caught all my fish on, and I was like, all right, every fish I've caught off this stretch has been over 2.5, and that's kind of rare on Martin. So I was like, there's a chance if they stay put, I have a shot at this thing. I just knew I was going to need a big bite. And the last day when I caught that one right at 4, I was like, all right, I got the bite to win. Now I just got to catch some quality ones to go with it.
As that day went on, like throughout the first day or the last day, dude, you came out firing. It did not. You, again, were really tested. You see people win events where they are challenged and it takes hours. I think you had 12.5 pounds by 8:30 a.m.
Something like that. Like, they was biting. It was raining and they were biting. And honestly, I forgot I was wet, to be completely honest with you. I was just out there fishing and I was like, all right, so it's 9:30. I got 14 pounds. I've got more than what I had the last day. I'm like, now I just need to go find a big bite. And I kept going in my mind, do I go chase largemouth or do I stay chasing these spots? And I chose to stick with the spots, and I lost one big one there at the end of the day and caught a big one at the end of the day. And I'm like, well, maybe it's enough. I don't know. If not, I did my job. I caught all I could catch, and I'm going to make them have to catch them as well.
What has the reaction been like? Like, has your phone blowing up? Like, have you seen much reaction? Like, what has it been like for you the last less than 24 hours?
I've had so many phone calls, text messages, Instagram, like DMs. It doesn't matter. Like, I've got hundreds of them, and I'm like, God, it is kind of overwhelming. Like, there's people from all over the place that I didn't even know knew who I was texting me.
Do you like that?
It's cool. Like, it's fun. I'm not gonna diss on it. Like, I'm gonna soak it all up, because you never know if you ever win another one.
Yeah, but how can you say that? Because according to people who have watched you grow up, that's what you do. The mailman delivers the mail, and Fisher Anaya wins friggin' tournaments.
That's the plan. Ain't nobody want to be a loser, so I go into every one of them with, I'm gonna try to win.
Do you think that's different than what you've heard growing up in the sport? Like, I here personally, I look at some of the younger anglers that say things like that. And I like it. Like, to me, it's weird how we've always had this thing where people are like, well, if it's my time, it's my time. And I've always like looked at it as a pitcher. If you watch a pitcher before they pitch a game, none of them say, hey, they're going to knock the leather off the ball. They say, I'm going to strike out every batter. And that should be what your mindset is as a competitor. Is that always your mindset?
Yeah, you got to have that mindset. Like, I mean, just take G, for instance. We're best buds. You get us in a tournament blast off time. He's gonna look at me and say, I'm gonna whoop your ASS today, and I'm gonna look back and say, well, I'm trying to whoop yours. That's how it's always. I mean, it's how it should be, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, confidence is key, and you should always want to win. Did G coach you up? Did he say anything to you the night before? Did you have any conversations throughout the week while this was building?
I mean, I talk to him every day of practice, like after the day, like we talk on the phone for 20 minutes, just talk about what we was doing and whatnot. But like every time I got a remote shot to win some, he always, like, I walk in his camper, he's just, don't F up. That's what he tells him. Don't F up. You got one job. Don't mess it up. And I'm like, I appreciate that.
Did you make any mistakes in this tournament?
I didn't fish as clean as I wanted to fish. I tried to force a largemouth pattern the first day of the tournament and majority of the second day when I knew I should probably go chase spots because I could catch decent spots. And I just tried to force a largemouth deal that wasn't there for me. And it kind of, I would say, just made me fall behind the first day. And the second day I got on the spots late again. So I feel like I could have had over 14 every single day if I'd have chased spots, but I kind of just got off the 8-ball and tried to force something that wasn't there for me.
You're winning weight. Is it what you would have predicted to win, or is it higher?
Mine was a little, I predicted it to be a little higher. I was expecting like 14 and a half a day to win, but I think it ended up taking like 13.75, something like that. So it was a little lower than what I expected, but the conditions kind of was all hit or miss.
I want to talk to you about forward-facing sonar and scoping because, I mean, you did some things this week that we've never seen.
I mean, what part have you not ever seen?
A human shake a fish. I mean, we've seen people shake off a smaller fish when they're bed fishing. I've never personally on Bass Live ever seen someone literally pick and choose their fish, shake the bait out of a smaller fish's mouth, and the bigger fish, so the bigger fish can eat. I mean, that's some next level use of the technology.
It was kind of like, I wouldn't have done it if I wouldn't have had what I had. Like, I had almost 15 pounds at the time. So I'm like, I got to catch the big one because if I don't, I'm going to mess her up. Like, you catch the small one, the big one always gets spooky. She'll swim off. You won't ever find her again. So I knew when the small one ate it and the big one was still running up there at the small one trying to take it from her, if I could get it out of the small one's mouth, I'd catch the big one. And it was like a matter of seconds after it come out of that small one's mouth, she'd come up there and ate it.
Is this something you've done often?
I mean, if I got a big bag and there's a big one and a small one, I'll do it quite a bit. Sometimes it don't work, but sometimes it does.
Do you think that's something that a lot of humans do?
I don't know. I ain't really asked nobody.
Speaking of that, let's get on that topic because I feel like there's a group of people that are very good with that technology and they all kind of know each other, but they don't want to let anybody in the club. Am I reading that right?
Yeah, I mean, the forward-facing sonar style deal, like everybody's kind of sneaky with it. Like everybody's got their own like specific things they like to do with it, and then their tricks up their sleeve, and they don't really like to share it. But I mean, I can't blame them. Everybody's trying to make a living, and that's how they win money. So I don't blame them.
Yeah, yeah. Who do you think is a great scoper?
Oh man, there's a handful of them. Like there's a bunch of guys that's really good with it. Like I would say, like, I mean, Takumi Ito's good with it. All the Japs are super good with it. Like they're very dialed in with what they want to do with it. Like they're hard to handle when they got a fish in front of them on scope. But any of your herring boys like Emil Wagner, Paul Marks, they're all good with it.
Yeah. What do you think makes a good scoper?
Someone that's just spent a lot of time behind it, and like honestly, like your TVA guys are really good with scope because they got to pick out a lot of trash fish because we got tons of drum, carp, you name it, we got it. And you got to identify what a bass is compared to everything else. So just time sitting behind the screen, staring at it, learning how a fish moves, how she reacts, how different baits make her react, how she's set up to throw which bait. Like there's a lot that goes into it.
How much time have you invested in that technology?
I probably got it my 9th grade year, I'd say, of high school. So I don't even know how many years that is. A couple of years. And I mean, it's kind of progressed a lot faster than I thought it would.
Do you think I'm sure over the last, 20 hours or so, you've heard plenty of opinions.
Yeah.
How do you classify a scoping win? Is it just another tool? Or like what in your head how do you look at scoping?
Everybody had it in that tournament. That's kind of how I look at it. Everybody could have used it. Everybody has the same baits, knows what everybody's throwing. So anybody could have done it. So if you're going to complain about it, like, oh, such and such, like everybody had the same tools. Like everybody could have went and done it in that tournament. So it's not a big deal. Like last week at Gunnersville, Hank Cherry everybody had the same thing as Hank Cherry, and he won. He didn't get no criticism for it because he didn't use live scope, but it's still the same thing. Like no one was scoping. Everybody had scope in this one. So it equals the field out. So I don't understand why people complain. I just go do me.
It's a good way to live life. And if you're going to do this for a profession, you're going to just have to do that because I just think, we get people complaining about, even during non-forward facing sonar events, people are like, oh, they're just staring at screen. It's just a weird time in the world, but it's the only time that and you're pretty proficient in dealing with it, obviously, if you're just going to do you. Yeah,
that's kind of how I've always been. I'm not going to try to catch somebody else's fish or do something I'm not comfortable doing. So I'm going to do what I like to do. And if it works, it works. If it don't, it don't.
What style of fishing makes you most uncomfortable?
I don't really know, honestly. I'm not the greatest at catching northern smallmouth, even if I have scope, I'm not this great at it. Them things kind of throw me off. Like, I don't know why they do the things they do, but they do.
Like, what is confusing about them? What's different?
I don't know. It's just odd. Like the way they set up on certain things. Like here, I'm used to looking for stuff that's kind of off the wall or anything like that. But like up there, they just get on some big point and they just catch them. Like I'm making it more confusing than it really is, I guess you'd say.
I'd say that's the biggest thing that I've seen from the outside, not with you, but with smallmouth in general. People that are not used to them, they way overthink it. They turn it into a science project, and
yes,
and you need to just kind of fish. And but I have zero doubt that you will figure that out. And you got at least one event that you're going to have to figure that out this year.
Yeah, well, then we got Champlain and St. Lawrence. So I'm gonna chase smallmouth in both of them. Why not?
Yeah. Might
as well.
Where are you in your learning process in fishing? Like, how far you got to go?
You learn everything. There's something new every day. Like every day, Lake Martin, I had to learn where the fish moved or where they was going and why they was going where they was going. Because the first 2 days I got off the 8-ball, I thought they was going in the pockets to get ready to spawn, but really they switched around them and was going back towards the main lake to get on rock piles to stage up. So it was like each day you learn something new. You're never going to know everything. You're trying to catch something that's got a brain. So each day you learn something new, chasing them around.
Is that what attracts you to this sport?
Yeah, I like it. I like not knowing what the outcome can be. Like it could be really good or really bad. Like you're doing a sport, you're going to lose more than you win. Like it's not a 50-50 chance. You got a 1 in 100 chance to win. So I like doing that. I guess you'd say stiffer the competition. I like when you do finally beat some guys like a Jordan Lee or a Swindle. Like you beat those guys, you can say something.
Yeah. You say it's not 50-50, but that's literally what your Elite Series career has been up to this point. You fished 2, you've won 1. I mean, you're batting 500. Not so bad.
Not horrible.
No.
Need to roll the momentum into the Classic, and I'll be all right.
Swindle says you see the screen different than him. What do you think he means by that?
I got better eyes than he's got.
You think it's that simple?
I don't know. He says I see it different. I don't know if I see it different or not. Like, he just tells me all the time, like, you just see the screen different. Like, you can tell which way they're going a lot faster than I can tell. And I just think a lot of it is just time and looking at it. Like, me staring at a screen every single day has got to the point now I can tell you which way she's going. I can some lakes are easier to tell how big the fish are and how small some of the fish are. Let me let this dog out.
No, yeah, you're good. You're good. That dogs need to go to the bathroom. It's important.
Get outside.
Go on, get now.
He's about annoying as all get out.
I've run a Yamaha outboard for over 30 years. It has got me home safe each and every time. If you enjoy this podcast, remember, Yamaha supports it and they care enough about you to make this ad read very short. Now back to the show. How many days a year do you fish?
Oh, I couldn't tell you on that one a lot. There's 365 days in a year. I bet I fish 300.
Really?
Something like that. I don't know. Like, I've been fishing for 5 weeks straight now, like nonstop. And it's just kind of, I'm not going to stop this week. I'm going to go to Rayburn, fish that one, see how it goes, and come home, got a week or 2 off to the Classic and get ready for that one.
What's the longest stretch you've gone over the last few years without fishing?
Oh, one time my boat was, I think it's spider cracking on top of the top hole of it, and had to get that fixed. And I was out of commission for like a month, and I was about to pull my hair out.
What did that make you feel like?
A bum. But like, I was sitting at home not doing nothing. I'm like, man, I feel like a lazy bum.
There's other things to do.
Yeah. I went deer hunting. That was about all I had to do. And, took the old lady out to eat a couple times.
Yeah. Yeah. Well. So apart from deer hunting and bass fishing, you're not interested in doing much else, it seems.
Not really. That's about the only 2 things I do. That, and it's really it, honestly. I got to eat, sleep, and breathe, so I do that. But other than that, I fish and hunt.
Do you dream about fishing?
Sometimes. I've had some crazy dreams. You ever took melatonin gummies?
Yeah, I've taken some gummies.
I've had some crazy dreams before.
What's the craziest dream you've ever had?
Oh, God. I had one where there's like something to do with, I don't remember all the details to it, but I was in the house and like my dad he was standing there, but he had like, his head was a fish and he was like trying to shoot me and I was running away from him. Oh, it was like, I'm telling you, take some of that stuff. You dream some crazy stuff. That, NyQuil. You'll have some wicked dreams. You'll wake up sweating.
Yeah, I imagine so. Do you think the fish would like to shoot you?
Probably some of them. I know them ones the other day was ready to kill me after me digging them in around that live well.
Why do you, when it comes right down to it, if you had to look at this from the outside, and I know this is hard because it's you, and I'm asking you to talk about yourself, but why do you think you won this tournament?
Oh, man, it's just that lake sets up so close to Smith Lake. Like, it's very similar to like what I'm used to doing, and they do everything like they're supposed to. Like, that lake just makes sense in my head, I guess you would say. Like, I show up to it, I can tell you there should be one right there, and I can pull up and go catch her. Like, something to do with that lake just makes sense to me. It's made sense to me ever since high school. Like, I've fished 4 tournaments there, and my worst finish is a second. So that lake makes sense.
Record.
Yeah, like it's always been good to me. So when I seen it on the schedule, I was like, yeah, I like that one.
Well, good pick. It seems to have worked out pretty decent. You had lucky underwear on? These are the amazing things we find out on Mercer in the morning. How
No,
much
I
did
ain't
the
got-
lucky underwear? No, not. Do you have them on now? You had them on Sunday. I'm assuming
did.
you're not wearing them still.
No, I had to wash them.
Yeah. Well, thank you. How many pairs of lucky underwear do you have?
I got like 2 or 3. There's a handful of them that's like one's luckier than the other. My Cocoa Puffs, they ain't no telling how much money I've won in them Cocoa Puffs. Like,
And
the
that's
highest.
that's the ones you were wearing that day.
Oh yeah, I made sure to put those on in the morning. I told Riley, I said, "Hey, you got to wash those. I got to wear those tomorrow.
Yeah, need the Cocoa Puffs.
Got to have them."
Will you wash the Cocoa Puffs every day of the Classic, or do you save them for like the final day?
There's a chance. I probably won't wear them the first day. Probably just wear my normal mediocre ones. And if I suck, they're going on. And if I have to, I'm gonna wear them dirty.
When did you start having lucky underwear?
A while ago, actually, I think I won my first ever high school tournament in my underwear, and I was like, maybe them were lucky.
Yeah.
Held on to them ever since. They got holes in them. I ain't got to pull my underwear down. I just pee.
They're all set. I mean, so not only are they lucky, but they speed up on things.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not the only one. You know, Davey Height, when he won Angler of the Year one year, claimed it was his lucky underwear. And those lucky underwear are now in the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame.
Well, there we go. They might be holding up some Cocoa Puff underwear here in about 25 years, maybe.
What is your dream long term? Like, if you could, and life is life, you know, you'd never know what direction it's going to go. But if you, right now, 20 years old, if you could say, hey, 20 years from now, 25 years from now, what have you done?
Oh, I just want to fish till I can't stand up anymore, honestly. Like, I want to have a career as long as like a Rick Clung career, something like that, just because I love to fish. So I'm just going to fish as long as I can. I would like to win anything and everything you can win, but I think anybody would say that. But I mean, if I don't ever win another one, I'm not going to stop chasing it. I've already got, like, you get that taste of victory and you're just like, all right, I want that more. And you just keep going back after it. And you might not ever get it again, but it might take 20 years. But if I get it in 20 years, it's going to be worth the 20 years of chasing it again.
Do you honestly believe it'd take 20 years?
I have no idea. I hope not. I hope I win the next one, but I don't know. I mean, you never know.
Do sometimes you answer things like that and give the answer that you hope people don't judge you on?
Sometimes.
It's natural. It's natural. I mean, you're 20 years old. I mean, this is a lot. Do you understand like how rare a group you're part of to have won as young as you are?
It set in when I was like walking up there and I was like, all right, I got a shot. Like, I don't know exactly what Brock's got, but I know I got a shot. And G's back there just barking orders. Hey, you need to do this, do that. Hey, do this. Hey, no, take that off. Do this. You look retarded. Do this. And I'm like, golly, so I'm trying to do all this stuff. But like, he's like, somebody just told me, he's like, you don't ever know if you're going to get this moment again. So like, you need to make sure you make everything worth it. So I'm like shocked that it happened so quick. Like, I mean, I think Trey is the only other one that's younger than me that's won one. So, I mean, being in that caliber is awesome.
What advice did he give you backstage? Like, what was he telling you to do?
All sorts of stuff. Some good, some bad. He told me not to step in the live well when I picked my bag up. He said he's done it before at the Classic.
He did.
He said, don't do that. And he said, because you're short enough, you going all the way in. He said, you'll be gone.
He did do that. That's good. And that's good advice. I mean, you didn't.
Yeah, I made sure not to.
Did you talk to Brock at all after the tournament or on stage? Did you guys share any words?
Yeah, I talked to him when I walked across the stage, and he seems like a super good dude. Like, just off the little bit I talked to him backstage on the third day, like, Brock seems like a really down-to-earth person. So he's a good dude, and, I mean, it showed this week he can catch fish. Like, he caught them really, really good for Lake Martin, and it was just God's timing said he wanted me to win and not Brock. So there's nothing against Brock. He caught and did all he could do, and I did all I could do. It was just my time to win.
Do you think you're meant to do this? Like, do you think this is, I mean, your name's Fisher. that was a premonition from your family. Obviously, you had nothing to do with that. But do you think this is the job that you're meant to do?
I hope so. Like that's what I love to do. Like even going out there in the rain and it was cold, I didn't really care. Like I'm here, like I'm just going. So I hope it is. And so far it seems like it's the right path for me to be taking, but who knows? We'll find out here. I mean, life's every day is different, so you never know.
You, what do you think you'd do if there was no fishing?
I don't know. Probably just go work at my dad's sod farm, mow some grass. I did that for a while. It ain't no fun.
No, real work sucks.
No, it sucks. I don't like doing 400 laps on a lawnmower.
But how many laps? I mean, have you ever got tired of graphing or being on the water? Like, at the end of the day, are you like, okay, I've had enough? Or are you forced off the water? Like, what kind of angler are you?
It depends on the week. Some days, I mean, I'll get tired. Like if I've been going at it for 20 days straight, I'm like, all right, I'm getting tired. Like I'm ready to go home. And then there's other weeks, like if I miss 2 or 3 days, I ain't fishing. I'm going to be there daylight to dark. And heck, I might fish after dark. There ain't no telling with me.
Are you an early riser?
No, not really. I'm grumpy in the morning.
Yeah. That seems to be a pattern. With a lot of the younger anglers. I mean, I think if you guys have your way, tournaments are going to start about 9:30, 10 o'clock.
That sounds great.
Tucker Smith was on live watching you. And to hear some of the stuff he said about you, how impressed he was with how you carry yourself on the water, how he said you never have a sense of urgency. He literally said it's like watching an old man fish, but he meant that in a compliment. He said, like, you know, for him to be as young in his career, and it's just there's never a sense of urgency. You're just at peace out there. What does that mean to you to hear that come from somebody like Tucker?
Oh, it's awesome. Like I grew up fishing against Tucker my whole life. Like I've known him since high school, and we fished, I mean, any local tournaments, Toyotas, all that stuff together. And I mean, it's always every tournament, Tucker, Hayden, me, Banks, like we're all right there. The same clique of guys are always competing for it. So after a while, like you get to the point where like, all right, these guys are good. So like it's been fun getting to fish against those guys because you really get to know them more and more. You get to see how they break down bodies of water, how you break down bodies of water, and you get to fish against them. So it makes you got to catch them. So I guess it kind of prepares you for when you do get into these stiffer competition. Like you're like, all right, I fished against some guys that can catch them. So it makes your confidence feel better, I guess you'd say.
That's a strong group of anglers you just rolled out there. Is there more of them coming? Like, Definitely. Do you know of 17-year-olds, 16-year-olds that you're like, boy, when that kid gets here?
There's a couple that's not quite made it yet. There's one who I travel with in the Opens. He's older than me, Jace Lindsay. If he makes it, he's going to be a problem. Like, he's just good. I don't know what else to say about him. He's just good. I fished tournaments with him, met him this past year. Like, down to earth dude. He's just good.
What do you think makes somebody a good angler? Like, there's people that are just better at it.
I mean, instincts, like just running down the lake and you're like, oh, it looks good. Let me go fish that. Like having confidence in your like on the fly decisions really makes or breaks you. Because like if you don't have confidence in your decisions, you're just going to run waypoints you made in practice. And if they're not there, you're never going to adapt. So, I mean, like at Martin, for example, I'm running down the lake and I'm like, that pocket looks good. I go in there and that's lo and behold, that's where I catch him at. And I've never fished a pocket a day in my life.
Really?
So, no.
So what day? You went in there day 2?
Last hour and a half of day 2.
Never pre-fished it?
No.
And what made you want to go in there? Just a feeling?
Yeah, I was running by and it looked like it had everything it needed. It had docks, some docks in the water, some wood in the water, some rocks in the water, points, like perfect staging areas for pre-spawners and spots. So I went in there and just meandered around. Lo and behold, I guess every fish in the lake pulled in there because there was buttloads of them.
So how much is instinct a part of your game? Because the internet would have you believe that's, he just looks at a box.
I mean, If I'm going to use the box, I'm going to look at it. Like if I can use it, I'm looking at it. If you don't, you're going to lose. Like I fished numerous tournaments and I do have it, and I go throw a frog, for example, and a whole day you're like, all right, I know I'm losing. You're not going to win. So having the tournaments without it, you can actually go fish that way, and you're like, all right, I'm equal with everybody else. Like no one's got an advantage on me. So it really makes you think two different ways when you do have it and when you don't have it. But it don't matter where I'm at in the country. If I'm running down somewhere, going to a dock that I know has fish on it, if there's something that looks good, I'm going to swing over there and fish it.
Do you like, that blended schedule, the split schedule? Do you like the fact that we have some with or some without, or if you were making the rules, would you make them different?
I like it. I think it's going to really make the season AOY is what's really going to be interesting. Like it's going to go up and down and change week by week, tournament by tournament. So it's going to make it interesting. It's going to make it come down to the last tournament. I think you're going to see some names up there you normally wouldn't see, and you're going to see some names that you would think are straight scopers, and they're going to be up there still again. So it's going to change it up and make there be a different group of guys competing each week.
Do you said that you feel like on par with everybody in non-scope events, everybody's on par. Do you feel like you're not on par with everyone, or you're on a different area when it comes to scoping events?
Not really. The whole time I'm just like, all right, so I'm catching them this easy. Somebody else is catching them this easy. That's kind of how I look at it. If they're biting for me this good, somebody else is catching them. So, it's all equal, honestly, at the end of the day. Like, yes, some guys are better at some things. Like Gerald's better at skipping a jig under docks than I am. So he's got an advantage there. So I feel like I'm better at scope than an average person. So I feel like I do have an advantage there. But now having some tournaments that you don't get to use it in, you're really going to have to go out and you're going to have to crank fish off shallow wood or shallow rock. So it's really going to make you more of a well-rounded angler.
Do you feel different in those events? You've only had 2 events, so it's a tough question to answer. But do you feel like, especially now, if you look at the rest of the season, do you feel like you'll feel like if you could, genie in a bottle, and you could pick, I'm going to win another event, do you want it to be a scope event or a non-scope event?
I'd like to win a non-scope one. Like that would be, that closed some people's mouths, I think. Probably not, but maybe. But I would like to, it'd be cool, to win a tournament catching just say 25 pounds a day, flipping matted hydrilla, something like that. Like that'd be cool. I ain't done that in a while.
Well, I think these next few, there's going to be some opportunities coming up. But next for you, after you're going to Rayburn, but after that is the Bassmaster Classic. That's a whole different beast. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know, honestly. I've been talking to G about it and everybody about it. He's like, just be prepared. It's overwhelming. Like, you're going to be like, wow, when you get there. It's not sunshine and rainbows. You go out to work. And I was like, well, maybe I'll have fun. We'll see. If I got to work, might as well catch some bass while I'm there.
Have you ever been to a classic?
I've went to some as a spectator, but I've never been way up close to the stage or anything like that.
What part are you intimidated by any of it, or?
Not really. I'm just going to go.
Just going fishing, right? It's just.
That's all it is. Everybody's fishing for the same fish. So, everybody's got the same opportunities to catch the same weight. So it's everybody's on the same lake. Might as well just go fish and not worry about it.
So if it's next Saturday and I say to you, hey, you can't fish, you can't hunt, what are you doing? What do you do outside of all of this?
I don't know. I guess I'd just try to find another hobby. Might go golf, but heck, I'd kill somebody if I had to golf. So I don't know.
Another cool thing that happened, and I think it's pretty cool to me to see from the outside, is everything that everybody in Alabama says about you, everybody in Texas says about your roommate, Pake South. And you're both very highly touted, rookies, young guys, roommates. What did it mean to make your first Sunday together?
Well, that was cool. You get to go to Championship Sunday and actually have somebody there that you can talk to, I guess you'd say. it wasn't weird. You go into the house and I didn't make the cut and he made the cut. Now I can't say nothing. So I'm like kind of being quiet. Now we're like, we made the cut. We can talk about what we want to. We're here. Like, let's go. And so it just kind of, it made it a lot easier on both of us, just both of us getting to make it. Cause it wasn't like one of us trying to talk the other person up for not making it, et cetera. Like it was just, hey, we both made it. So let's go swing for the fence tomorrow.
Do you guys work together at the events, or is it just a roommate situation?
Yeah, we try to. Like, we'll try to point each other in the right direction and just lead each other down the right path. Like, if I figure something out or he figures something out, we just kind of go from there.
It's working out pretty good so far for you both. You're in second for Rookie of the Year. He's in third. So things are pretty good. Caleb Hudson's leading right now. How much would you like to win that title? Something that you literally get one shot at.
That's what the goal is this year, is win Rookie of the Year, because you only get one goal at it. So I'm going to swing for it. I'm going to try to top 10 the rest of the tournament, so I make sure I get it. But if it's my time to win, and it's my time to win, and it'll happen. If not, so be it.
What's your favorite sound? If you had to pick a sound, what is your favorite sound?
Spinning reel drag.
Really? A spinning reel?
Yeah, I like that. That or like braid singing in some grass. That's pretty nice too.
Yeah. What's your favorite smell?
I don't know on that one. That'd be kind of favorite smell. Definitely ain't no fish. I can promise you that. But
you don't like the smell of fish? Don't they smell like money to you?
I mean, you could say that, like those little chicken farmers say around the house here, that they smell that. That smells like money. I'm like, no, that smells like, that just smells no good. What if you had to look at your whole victory moment and anything, would you change anything about it? No, I wouldn't. Like it was all perfect. Like it was all how it was supposed to be.
What did you say to your family when you finally got to them?
Nothing. Like I was just kind of like holding the trophy in shock, and they were all like, "Wow!" Like they were screaming. So it was great.
What does it mean to you as a son? Like, or do you even think like that? Like, I mean, it's pretty cool to. I mean, the greatest thing on earth as a parent is to see your kid chase their dream and be successful. Have you even stopped to think about how cool it is that you gave that to your parents?
Not really, but it is cool. Like the more you think about it, it's like, dang, that's pretty neat. Like to have both of them there, my mom, dad, like girlfriend, they're all like super, super supportive. And they're there, like they're the ones fishing. They're more nervous than I am when I'm out there fishing. So it's pretty cool after you see it like that. It's nice to have people support you, like your family support you like they do.
So far, everything we've seen of you, you're pretty mellow. As Tucker Smith says, it's like watching an old man fish. Do you ever get wound up?
Not really. I mean, I can, but like not really. I'm just kind of laid back. I mean, just kind of living life, I guess.
Do you have any pet peeves?
No.
Nothing bothers you.
No.
Wow, you're a special human. I mean, everybody has something that bothers them, but if you have nothing, that's a good way to live life.
I mean, there's some stuff that, I mean, everything can irritate somebody. There's always something that can irritate you, but I just try to throw it all behind me and just keep going, look at the positives and just do me.
It's a good way to live life. Where did you get that from? Is that from upbringing?
I don't really know. Like, it's just kind of how I've always been. I've always been super laid back, kind of. Everybody in school used to call me, man, you look like an old man. Like, you act like an old man. I'm like, I don't know. That's just how I am. So it's kind of always been my personality to just be super laid back. Like everybody always asks me like, dang, we can't even piss you off. And I'm like, nothing really pisses me off.
It's a good way to live life. To get it done in Alabama, what does that mean to you?
It's nice. I mean, I get to get the trophy, go straight home. It's 3 hours. Everybody there, like all my family could come, grandparents. I mean, my fishing partner I fished high school with, my first 2 years of high school was there. So like having all those people there, I mean, friends, family, they could all actually show up and come. So it made it 10 times better.
So what's the rest of the year got for you? What ones are you looking forward to the most?
Probably like Lake Murray. I feel like that's going to set up my style. I feel like it is. I've never seen the place. I have no idea, but kind of seems like it'd be a fun one to look at. So definitely Lake Murray and the Classic. That's the two I'm looking forward to the most.
How do you think you'll do in the Classic?
No idea. Hopefully good. I mean, that'd be nice, but if not, I'm just going to take up the moments and just be glad that I'm there.
I talked to Swindle, and Swindle said to me that the night before the team championship started, you told him you were going to win. He said it wasn't an arrogant thing. He just said, yeah, I'm going to win.
I had a really extremely good practice. Like I had 23 to 24 pounds every single day of practice on Lake Hartwell. It was kind of crazy. And first 2 days I did not fish clean at all. So I was like, I done jinxed myself. So time to slide on the lucky underwear and go to work. And I slipped in there and made the last 2 days of fishing. And I just kind of all went down. I fished clean the last 2 days and it happened. He's like, so how did you know you was going to win? I was like, man, I don't know. It just felt like the right time to win.
Does it ever not feel the right time to win?
Yeah, Gunnersville didn't feel like I was going to win. I just felt like I was off the 8 ball the whole week. Like had a good practice and went out there, and then I knew it wasn't going to be good because a lot of fish were slapping at my trap. Like I was getting 50 bites a day and catching 10 of them, 15 of them. So I was like, yeah, I didn't change. I kept doing the same thing because that's usually what goes down there, and it just didn't happen. So I knew that week after day one, I was like, yeah, I haven't got a shot.
Because of the result or just because of what you felt?
Just the way I was feeling, like how my fish were biting and how I felt like they was moving around and all that stuff. So I knew if I didn't change, I wasn't going to win, and I didn't change. I tried to force it, and it wasn't happening. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're 50-50. Things aren't so bad.
Nah.
And next up, Rayburn in the Opens, then the Bassmaster Classic. It's pretty awesome to see, dude. Pretty awesome to see. And I consider myself pretty lucky to a front row. And I will say, man, some of the stuff we saw you do with forward-facing sonar, people can hate on it all they want. But as a skill, you're a freaking wizard with it. But it still confuses me that you're that good with it. And as I joked to you, we had to get your dad to set up the computer so we could actually do this interview.
I wasn't lying when I said I didn't go to school after my 8th grade year. Like I did it online. I cheated. Like when I say cheated, I didn't do none of it. So I can't spell, I can't read, I can't write. No, you can me on that. Math, awful. If I didn't have a scale to weigh and tell me the weight of my fish, I'd be there half the day trying to figure out what my 5 fish equal.
So you proudly cheated.
Yeah.
Why didn't you go to school?
School's overrated. I mean, I didn't feel like I'm not going to go do work and not get paid for it. That's kind of how I've always been. So I might as well not do it.
So do you not feel a pressure that, I mean, there's people looking up to you now, and now you just told the world that school's overrated?
Well, not some people it can be. Some people, I mean, everybody's different. I wouldn't recommend it, but I mean, that's what you feel is right. Do it. Why not?
So all that time, like you were just doing online stuff?
Yeah, I would get on my computer every Monday and sometimes Tuesday and just do schoolwork for 4 or 5 hours and get 2 or 3 weeks knocked out, and then I'd just go fishing the rest of the time being.
So you avoided the whole, I mean, that's another anomaly that you have. You avoided the whole collegiate fishing scene.
Yeah. I just didn't feel like that was right for me. I wasn't going to college to do more schoolwork and fish tournaments that I probably wouldn't get paid for. Like just not for me. So I just decided not to do it, and I decided to just jump in the opens and bet on myself and go do it.
Do you think that you missed out on anything from that or no?
Not really. I feel like I chose the right path for me. I feel like as fast as it's all going down and everything's aligning, like I feel like I took the right path. Because if I was doing college, heck, I'd still be in college. I'd be a sophomore in college. I have 2 more years of doing college stuff.
So get to living. I mean, take the fast track.
Well. Exactly. Might as well jump past it. Cheat. Cheat on schoolwork.
On school. Only on school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have to clarify that because you know how the internet is nowadays.
I'll be getting bashed saying I'm putting weights in fish.
Dude, you're going to get bashed. I mean, Swindle says it best. The internet hates Jesus, and he never did nothing to anybody.
Yeah.
So it's going to come. Does that part of it bother you, or were you pretty? I mean, you've seen it happen to East, and you've seen it happen to. You kind of, I would assume, expected that.
Yeah, you just kind of got to be ready for it. Like it's going to come your way. Like if you're doing better than someone, they're gonna complain. They're always going to try to find something they can nitpick and grab at. And so there's always going to be someone in the room that's going to complain and not like you, and you can't please everybody. So just please yourself.
What's the craziest thing you've ever done to catch a fish?
I don't know, honestly. I don't know. I don't really know. Caught one on a bare hook before, just straight normal hook.
Why?
I don't know. I ran out of pack of worms at a pond one time, and I just threw a hook out there.
So have you always been that guy who's fishy, like growing up fishing with buddies? You were always the guy who caught them?
Sometimes not. I mean, you always gonna have a day where you don't catch them. Like I remember first time I ever got in a boat with G. Heck, I didn't catch a bass. They caught like 50 on a frog a piece, him and my dad. And I didn't catch one. I was ready to go home. I was like, "Get me out of here!" And he's always said, "I'll take you to the woodshed." So the next time we went fishing, I jumped him. I had like 25-2 on him, and I didn't say nothing for a little bit. He said he caught a big one. He's like, "Yeah, it's bigger than all yours." I said, "Well, I got more than you got." Oh, it's never ending. It was always something going back and forth.
Is it always a competition for you when you're fishing?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm just fun fishing with a buddy, no. But if there's a tournament going on, yeah, you always got to shoot to win. So you might as well take it as a competition. Or, I'll just take somebody fishing like my dad, for instance. We'll be like, all right, tournament today. Who catches more? We'll go see who catches more.
If you had to compare yourself to a pro angler, can you compare yourself to somebody else? Like if I had to say, who do you fish like?
I don't know, honestly. Like I feel like everybody's got their own style and the way they do things. So say everybody's different. I wouldn't say I get told all the time I fish just like Gerald. I cast like Gerald, everything like that. I stand like him, everything. I was like, I don't stand like him because I ain't got bow-legged knees yet. So we can that. But I've got told the way I fish, run the trolling motor, et cetera, is kind of exactly how he did when he was younger. So I have no idea.
I think that everybody takes a little bit of something from what they've seen growing up. I mean, if you watch Palnick fight a fish, you can clearly tell he watched Iaconelli fight fish growing up. That's just natural, I think. How much time have you spent in your life? I mean, you don't like school, but how much time have you spent in your life learning about fishing off the water?
Not much. Like I don't really study maps that much. I don't try to really do anything. Like I show up to the boat ramp in the morning for practice. I don't pre-practice. I can't do that hardly. Like I pre-practice Martin and I never caught a bass where I pre-practiced that. So I'm like, all right, that was useless. So I don't pre-practice. I'll show up with 2 days of practice, 3 days of practice, dump my boat in and just, all right, that looks good over there. Let's just start over there.
You are a strange human in this way. And I mean this as a compliment. Most people, when they show up, they're acting to try and be somebody else. You really seem genuine. You really seem like you are who you are. You're pretty young to be there.
I mean, that's how I've always grown up is just be yourself. I mean, don't try to be somebody you're not, because at the end of the day, it's going to bite you in the rear end. So I just got to do me and be myself.
Well, it's working, and it's fun to watch, and I can't wait to have a front row seat to the rest of your career. Congrats on everything so far.
Well, I appreciate it. I'll be ready to walk across the stage again. I like hearing you go, Fisher, Anaya. Like, that's pretty cool.
Is that what it sounds like? I mean,
it's a little more umped up than that, but it's close enough.
Yeah. Well, you're getting more and more titles to your name. That intro is going to get a little longer, and I'm here for it. Congrats on everything, dude, and thank you for taking the time. I know how busy you are right after this win, and you're heading out of town, so thank you.
Yes, sir. It was fun. I appreciate you having me on here.
Thank you, Fisher Anaya. That is a wild dude with a wild story. I mean, he literally came from homeschooling so he could fish to schooling some people on the Bassmaster Elite Series in only his second week on the job. I cannot wait to watch that kid's future unfold. It awesome. I mean, there's very few times that I've been commentating on live and been speechless. He definitely gave me one of those. But ultimately, I want to thank all of you. Thank you for making this show what it is. Thank you for making this community what it is. Thank you for being the group that you are, the positive, embracing group that you are. I keep saying thank you, and I don't feel like it's enough. So I'm going to back it up. And I'm glad we're doing this in the last segment, because this is a contest for the hardcores, for the people that live and listen to every single word of this show, and I love you for it. All you got to do is get in the comments and give me the episode number you started tuning in. Was it number 1? Was it number 75? Was it number 150? Was it 249? Was it 250? Nobody's going to get judged. It's a random contest, so it doesn't matter when you started tuning in. I just want to know when you started tuning in to this podcast. We will randomly select a winner, and we will announce them on next week's show. What are you competing for? Well, I'm going to give you the gift that keeps on giving. It's better than Jelly a Month Club, and it is cold, hard cash. Even better than that, my cold, hard cash. I'm going to shake the piggy banks around here, dig under the couch cushions, come up with $250 and send it to one of you just for commenting. It's going to be totally random. I'm sure we'll throw in a bunch of other stuff. It'll be a very bulbous prize pack, but atop that prize pack will be $250. To be honest, I'm making this up as I go along. This was not planned out like most of things I do. So I'm not sure how it works. If we can send you cash, or we'll have to do a money order, or it'll be a gift card to whatever tackle store you shop at. You're going to get $250 of my dollars. And all you got to do is leave a comment when you started watching. I'm thankful for all of you, whether it was episode 1 or you just started watching this week. Thank you all. It's going to be totally random. And make sure you tune in next week to find out who the winner is, because we will announce it live. They will find out for the first time. And that'll give me a week to come up with the cash. Thanks again. And remember, everybody is fighting a battle. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. Go out there in the world, be kind, spread happiness, smile, hold a door open for somebody. Make the world a better place. You can change somebody's day. You can change somebody's life. And guess what? Ultimately, it'll make you feel better. Have a great week. Enjoy being. And for the 250th time, hey, Bob Cobb, take it away.
Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, because Bob Cobb of the Bassmasters told you to. You hear?